Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again with another Blu-ray DVD update for you. I got a handful of stuff over the last week or so that I'm going to share with you today. Please let me know in the comments what you think about the titles I'm going to be talking about in this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you guys like my videos. The first one up from Universal is Oblivion on Blu-ray DVD digital copy combo pack here. This is the one that stars Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman. In this movie, it takes place 60 years after Earth has gone to battle with some aliens, and the Earth is just pretty much rubbish. It's kind of just all destroyed. Like, all the humans have been evacuated, and Tom Cruise plays this repairman that goes down to Earth to fix drones, like things that go down to Earth to try to clean it up and see if there's anything alive and what's moving around down there, because there's these weird creatures down there called scabs that are like, running around the Earth and, just like, creating mischief and taking down these drones that he has to go down there to repair. And as he's down there on this mission to go down to repair one, he has a partner that's up in the, his little station that he has that's helping him out with this. And as he's down there one day, he comes across this one wreckage, and this wreckage has this one lady in this pod, and he finds out that she's still alive, and he rescues her. And when he rescues this lady, it just starts off this series of events, and all this craziness starts happening to him and the lady, and you have to find out what's what the hell is really going on, and how long has that lady been in that chamber and stuff, and how she stayed alive for all this time. It's a really fun science fiction movie. It's one of the better ones I've seen, like, since Event Horizon and Cube would have to be like my two favorite science fiction movies of all time, next to like the Alien films. Not the last two Alien films, but the first two. You guys, the cinematography is just amazing. That's the most stunning thing of this film. The way they shot it, and the locations they had, and the special effects they used in this film. On this Blu-ray here, you get audio commentary. You also get some deleted scenes, some really fun deleted scenes, and of course, the basic behind-the-scenes stuff on here. And of course, there's a special feature on here where they talk about, like, the special effects that they put in for this film. It's about 2 hours and 5 minutes, and like 90% of the movie is just Tom Cruise walking around, the post-apocalyptic Earth, just doing his thing, But I found this film to be really fun, because I don't really watch a whole lot of science fiction kind of movies, and I dug the hell out of this. So if you guys get a chance, check out Oblivion, man. It was fun, really, really fun. And next up from Anchor Bay is Aftershock on Blu-ray here. This is the one that's produced and starring Eli Roth. It's about these friends that are going to Chile to just sightsee and hit the nightlife scene and just, go clubbing and do their thing. One night, they're in a club, and this big earthquake happens, and all this, destruction happens, and some people die, and then they run out into the street and try to figure out what's going on. And then during the earthquake, this prison, the doors open, and these prisoners start escaping and start, terrorizing the town of Chile, and all this craziness starts happening, and they're just trying to figure out how they're going to stay alive and stay away from these prisoners and stay away from crumbling buildings and just all this craziness that's happening. And it was kind of fun. There was too much exposition, like the beginning part of the movie with them like sightseeing and clubbing, and there was like 35 minutes of that. You don't need 35 minutes to try to introduce the characters. That was the only problem I had with this film. They needed to speed up the beginning part of it, like the last half of the movie where all the action and stuff happens, like all the craziness, the earthquakes, the all that crap, because there's also a tsunami that's about to hit Chile too, and it's just a really, really crazy movie. But just the beginning part of them, trying to get to know the characters, it didn't need to be that long. But it is a fun movie. The acting in the script was like probably the worst part of the film. But you guys have to watch it if you guys are into like horror disaster films. It was cool, because have you ever seen a horror disaster film in your life? It's fun. It's worth watching. I do recommend you guys check this one out if you're horror fans. Alright guys, next up from Welgo USA is King of the Streets on Blu-ray. This one's actually kind of a fun, martial art action film. It's about this one guy named Lou. He's like a thug, street fighter. He's really great at martial arts. He's always causing mischief and getting into fights, and at the beginning of this film he gets thrown into jail because he gets into all this mischief and kicks people's butts. And then when he's let out of jail, he's trying to, make his life right. He doesn't want to, be that thug guy that just fights for the sake of fighting. And, he's trying to, better himself. And as he leaves prison, he bumps into this one girl that he falls in love with. The girl that he falls in love with works at this orphanage, and this orphanage is being threatened by thugs that they want to take the orphanage over for the land, and they want to just kick the orphans and everybody and kick them out. And it takes all his strength in the world not to fight them. Of course, he has to because the thugs take it too far. But this movie was actually kind of fun. Storyline, kind of weak sauce a little bit, but the action stuff is really fun. I really did enjoy this film. It's only about 88 minutes long. If you guys see it out there, and if this sounds interesting to you, check it out. I dug it, because I like that kind of cheesy stuff. Alright guys, next up from the BBC is Great White Shark, A Living Legend, another documentary from the BBC that follows the Great White Shark. And in this documentary, you follow around this one guy named Mike. He lives in South Africa, and he's been fascinated with the great white sharks ever since he was a kid. And now he's like diving in with them, swimming around with them, documenting them, and just finding out all these different things about the great white shark that a lot of people don't even know. And because I know a lot of you guys out there that you would not even dare jump in the ocean when the great white shark is there. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, oh, there he is. Let's go in. Let's have some fun. But this one guy, Mike, he does that. He has really no fear at all. And he's just going in there documenting them and just watching what they do and how they react to him. All this really cool, interesting stuff that if you guys watch this documentary, you'll find out. It's only about an hour or so long. It looks really, really beautiful on Blu-ray. Really, really well shot. And also on this Blu-ray here, you get a bonus episode called Swimming with the Robo Shark, which is like another, documentary about, more sea life stuff, which was really cool too. But if you guys are really into sharks and the great white sharks in general, like Jaws, dun-dum, dun-dum, bum 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 bum, whatever. I really did find myself really enjoying this one. Really enthralling stuff. There's some really creepy shots they had in here, like when this guy Mike is on his boat being filmed, being interviewed and stuff, and he's on his boat, and it's like a little boat, you know what I mean? And the shot is him sitting on the edge of the boat, and all you see is every time the boat would rock back and forth is more water. So I was always uh-oh, what happens if the great white shark comes up behind him and grabs him and stuff, really creepy things, that if the shark was there and he popped up, he would die. It's not a big yacht or anything. It was a little boat. It was really kind of some really creepy, haunting shots in there for at least me, because I'm scared to death about going into that, the deep ocean and wanting to jump in and swim with the sharks. I ain't doing that. But this guy Mike does. If you guys want to see what kind of stuff he uncovers in this documentary, I recommend you guys checking this one out from the BBC. It was really entertaining. I really did dig this one. And next up right here from Magnolia is Venus and Serena, the documentary about the world famous tennis stars. I'm not a big tennis fan, but I do know who they are because they grew up in South Central LA. And I always seen them in the news, Venus and Serena won another match today, kind of a thing back when I was in school, and all the stuff that they had to go through to become where they're at today, and how their father, started training them, both of them really young, to become tennis pros, and how they, went from, little kids training with their dad to, winning, big trophies and things, and how they even talked about how one of their sisters or family members got killed in some sort of gang shooting. They talk about that in there. And this documentary pretty much follows their lives, and pretty much, in the 2011 time frame when they were trying to make their comeback after they both had injuries, and they were both suffering from different life things, and one of them had a leg problem, and just different problems they had. And it was them trying to, make a little comeback. And if you have to watch the documentary if you know nothing about them to find out if they made a good comeback or not. But it was a well put together documentary. Like I said, I'm not a big super tennis guy, but I was entertained by the way they put this documentary together. But if you guys see this out there and you guys know who Venus and Serena Williams are, I really recommend checking this one out. It's a really well put together documentary. I liked it. It was cool.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, excuse me a second. Hi, it's just me again. I'm just stopping by to give you a review or two. This week I happened to see a movie that I thought would be interesting, and it certainly was. It's called The Sapphires, and it stars Chris O'Dowd, Deborah Mailman, Miranda Tapsell, Jessica Mauboy, and Shari Sebens. Hopefully I pronounced those names correctly. And those four actresses actually are from Australia, and I believe are Indigenous and Aboriginal actresses, which is really cool because this is what it's basically about. It was originally a play by Tony Briggs. His mother was one of the original Sapphires. It's about a young group of Aboriginal women in Australia back in 1968. And they came from a musical family, and really quite by accident, they found out that there were auditions being held to perform for the American troops in Vietnam, and they were very excited. They really wanted to do it. And this basically, shows their travels through Vietnam with this Irish musician as their manager. I did not know Tony Briggs, as I said, was the writer of the play because his mother was one of the original Sapphires. Now, what I didn't know was that one of their, I believe it was cousins or relations of some sort, was stolen from them and brought up to be white. And I really feel ashamed of myself because I didn't know anything about these people or the struggles that they had. But apparently from about 1869 to 1969, 1970, there was a thing called the Stolen Generation. And a lot of Aboriginal children were taken from their homes and raised as white children, as if you will. And it just shows, the family relationship and the stress, but then again, of course, the love that takes place. And this is not your usual, girls living a dream and they become successful. No, it's inspired by a true story of 4 Aboriginal women back in 1968. Might want to check this out. It's pretty cool. Now, for a whole different theme, just wanted to show you Hell's Kitchen. Oh my, you know me and my reality TV things that I like, or TV series that I like. Oh my goodness. I didn't know what this was. Brendan apparently saw an episode or two at a friend's house, purchased this, and showed it to me, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I'll watch the first episode. I'm not really into cooking shows, that kind of thing. Watch the first episode, it's like when you're at a movie or you're at a TV show and you find yourself talking at it while it's on. I'm sitting here going, oh my God, I would never work for this guy in a million years the way he treats people. Oh my God, I was just in total shock. And it comes to find out, hey, that's him. If you want to get the best out of somebody, well, that's pretty much how you have to behave. Anyway, I love this series so much. I watched probably all 8 seasons, which is what this has in it. Probably in a span of about maybe 2 to 3 weeks, I guess. And, I mean, it's just, what can I say? A thrilling reality TV show. You have to cook your best. You've got to, follow his rules and his quality and everything like this. And I really have come to like this man so much so that upon occasion, when I can, and my computer's working properly, I am now watching episodes on YouTube of his other show called Kitchen Nightmares. Oh, I love this guy. He's great. And back to Brendan.
And next up right here is one of my all-time favorite romantic comedy movies of all time. The 2 stars of this movie made 2 or 3 other movies together, but this one right here is put out by Twilight Time. You can get it exclusively at ScreenArchives.com, and that is Sleepless in Seattle on Blu-ray, starring Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Like I said, I believe they starred in 2 or 3 other movies together. I think it was Joe and the Volcano, This one and You Got Mail. There could be another one, but I can't think of it right now. But this would have to be my favorite one. And then, You Got Mail was actually really good too. But this one right here is about Tom Hanks' character. Beginning of the film, he loses his wife, and he has a young son, and he's having these nights he can't sleep because he really did love his wife. And one night his son calls this radio station and puts his dad on the air, and his dad pretty much airs like what happened with him and how he's dealing with his loss of his wife. And during that time period, all these women are listening to this radio station, falling in love with him, and Meg Ryan is one of them, and she really wants to meet him and see if it's really true love. It's always an amazing movie to watch. It never gets old to me. You get Bill Pullman in there playing Meg Ryan's fiance in the film. You also get Rosie O'Donnell in here playing Meg Ryan's best friend that she talks to. It's a really enjoyable film. The transfer on this was amazing. I mean, it looks really, really good on here. And on this Blu-ray here, you get the audio commentary with the director. You get a music video, theatrical trailer on this thing. It's nicely packed with some special features. If you guys love this movie, just wanted to let you guys all know it's now out on Blu-ray, and I highly recommend it. Really, really good, because it was the first time I revisited this film in years, and it's still as good as I remember it to be. But that's Sleepless in Seattle on Blu-ray. Alright guys, next up is a Blu-ray I found over at CD Trader. I was so happy to find it, and that is George A. Romero's classic Night of the Living Dead on Blu-ray here. I only have one little gripe with this release, is that it has a special feature on here, a 80-minute documentary on the making of the film, but it doesn't play in my US player. And it's one of those things, I don't know why CD Trader had it, but the film plays, but the special feature doesn't. And the film looks amazing on Blu-ray. I don't need to get into the film, because you guys all know Night of the Living Dead. The transfer could have been a little bit better, but it is the best print of this film I've seen so far. And I believe it was like $9.99. It was not $11.99 like it says on the price tag. It was like $10. And I just wanted to show this one because I was so excited to find this one at CD Trader. I was like, yeah, they're coming to get you, Barbara. And next up right here, I just had to get it. One of my all-time favorite comedies. I like to revisit it because every time I watch it, it always brings me back to the time that it came out back in like the late 90s. And that's Liar Liar on Blu-ray here, with a cool Universal 90s slipcase. I don't know, man. It's about this guy. He plays a lawyer, or a liar, whatever you want to say. He always kind of neglects his kid. He always promises his kid, yeah, I'll do this with you, but then always kind of forgets because he has his job to worry about and things to do. And one day, he was supposed to go to his son's birthday party and he misses it because of work. And during his son's birthday party, his son makes a wish when he's blowing out his candles that his dad, can't lie for a day. And then the whole movie is pretty much Jim Carrey struggling with not be able to lie to people. And he's a lawyer, and he has this big case that he's doing. And it's just really, really funny stuff. This is one of the last Jim Carrey movies that he's really super goofy in, next to Me, Myself, and Irene. This is the Jim Carrey I love. I like his serious movies like Truman Show and things like that, The Majestic. All that stuff is really good, but I really like him when he's like super goofy. You know what I mean? That's my favorite kind of Jim Carrey. But if you have never seen Liar Liar, dude, this movie has the wet movie stamp of approval on it. Next up right here from New Video is The Prince of Broadway. This movie was really kind of cool too. An indie film about this guy named Lucky. He lives in New York, and he's like a guy that sells stolen merchandise or counterfeit merchandise to people on the street. Like he sees people that look like they might have money and tries to get them into his shop to buy like a Gucci bag that's not really Gucci, but that's like a knockoff brand of Gucci. And one day as he's doing that, this lady with a baby comes up to him and kind of drops his baby in his lap and says, "It's your baby. Later, you take care of him now." And he's like, wait, what? And it's pretty much him trying to figure out what he's going to do with himself with a baby. Because he's already struggling trying to make money as it is anyway. But now he has this young baby on his lap, and what he's going to do with this baby and how he lives his life, with this newfound baby that he's not quite sure if it's his or not. but you have to watch the movie to find out if it is. It was just a really well done, put together indie flick. Like, there's moments in this film where I think the director and the cinematographer, when they were filming the movie, I think they were filming it on the streets, where like real people are really walking by doing their day-to-day life, because when things are happening, like, you can like see the people on the street looking, going, are they filming down the street? You know, like stuff like that. And I found that to be really interesting, like really real guerrilla filmmaking right there. And I really did dig it on that aspect. You know what I mean? Because I really do love truly independent films, and how people would try to do anything they can to get the movie that they want done. You know, I really can appreciate that. If you guys see this movie out there and you guys are into indie flicks, I really do recommend you guys check this one out. Very well put together. I don't know, for some reason I was really enthralled with it. I really enjoyed the hell out of this film. But that's The Prince of Broadway. Check it out, man. And next up right here from E1 is Women Who Kill, a new stand-up special with Amy Schumer and her friends. This is The Women Who Kill, the tour that these ladies went on doing their comedy thing. It's really, really funny. If you guys know Amy Schumer from the Amy Schumer Show or Amy Schumer program on Comedy Central, she's the headliner on here. But then all she has her other stand-up friends doing their thing. It's about an hour-long stand-up comedy special, which is really funny. If you guys like stand-up comedy, you have to support, you know, women in comedy, because it just, you know, just do it. You know, you got to do it. But that's the Women Who Kill on Blu-ray. There's some really cool special features on here, like a little short film that they filmed, the ladies on here, called The Slumber Party, where they all get together and do some crazy stuff. You also get some behind the scenes footage of the tour, and you get a photo gallery of different photos they were taking on their tour. It was a fun show. You guys all know me and my stand-up specials. I really did dig this one. And the last two up here I talked about in an unbubbling video on my second channel. If you guys have never checked out my second YouTube channel, I'll have an annotation on the screen you can click on to go check it out and subscribe if you guys haven't. But I unbubbled these the other day, and that is Pimp My Ride Season 4 and Season 5. You guys all know Exhibit, the rapper that had his own show on MTV, that he would go to people's houses and that have like really wrecked cars and like banged up cars, scratched up cars, messed up cars, like cars that have like, you know, rats in them and stuff, and go in there and fix it all up and make it look all pimped out with like 35 TVs and like a big antenna on top of the TV kind of a thing. Like over the top stuff that they do to cars. I believe this show aired from like their early 2000s to like 2008, I believe. It's one of those shows, it's not amazing, but it's just something I like to go back to, revisit, and just chill out, you know what I mean? It's one of those kind of things, and I found them on sale on Amazon for like $12.99 a piece, so I'm like, oh, what the hell, because I remember they were $25 before. But that's all I have to show you guys today. Please thumbs up this video, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think about what I talked about today, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.